You will not believe what NASCAR just did to one of its biggest stars this week. And honestly, if you're not watching this race, you're going to miss one of the wildest silly season stories of the entire season. Because today, we've got two massive stories that every single NASCAR fan needs to know before the green flag drops at Chicagoland. One involves a driver change that could shake up the playoff picture more than anyone realizes. The other centers on one of the hottest names in the sport right now, fresh off a weekend that nobody saw coming. Both of these situations could completely change how the rest of this season plays out. And trust me, there are some fascinating decisions happening behind the scenes that deserve a much closer look. So stick around, because we're going to break down both stories piece by piece, explain exactly why they matter, and dig into what they could mean going forward. Before we get into it, though, I just want to say, this channel only exists because of people like you. We're still small, we're still growing, and every single person who takes a second to hit that subscribe button genuinely makes a difference in keeping this thing alive. If you love NASCAR the way we do, if you want a place where fans talk about this sport honestly, week after week, please consider joining us. It costs you nothing, but it means everything to us. Okay, let's get into the story, because this one has way more layers than it looks like at first glance. Raja Chastain will not be racing this weekend in the NASCAR Xfinity Level O'Reilly Auto Parts Series event at Chicagoland Speedway. But before anyone panics, no, it's not an injury. It's not a suspension. It's nothing like that. It's actually something much simpler. He's already hit the maximum number of starts he's allowed to make in that series this season. Here's the rule most casual fans don't know. Full-time Cup Series drivers with at least 3 years of Cup experience are limited to 10 starts in the O'Reilly Series per season. Chastain has now completed 8 of those 10 starts after racing last weekend at Sonoma Raceway. That Sonoma race also marked his 4th appearance behind the wheel of the number 32 Jordan Anderson Racing Chevrolet. And interestingly, it was actually the first time all season he failed to finish inside the top 9, ending the day with a DNF instead. Not exactly the result his team was hoping for heading into the summer stretch. His final 2 O'Reilly Series starts of the year are already locked in. He's set to return later this month at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and then again in August at Iowa Speedway, both times driving the number 9 JR Motorsports Chevrolet instead of the Jordan Anderson racing car. And that's exactly where this story gets a lot more interesting. Taking over the number 32 Chevrolet this weekend at Chicagoland is Raja Caruth. Now, if you've been following this series closely, you already know Caruth has been bouncing between rides all year long. He's technically the full-time primary driver of the number 88 JR Motorsports Chevrolet, but that program was always built with the plan of handing several races over to Hendrick Motorsports Cup Series drivers throughout the season. Since Chase Elliott is scheduled to drive the number 88 this weekend, Caruth slides back into the number 32 Jordan Anderson Racing Chevrolet for what will be his 9th start in that car this year. His best finish in the number 32 so far has been a 7th place run at Pocono Raceway, while his best overall finish of the season remains a 4th place run at Rockingham Speedway. He's also expected to make one more start in the number 32 later this year at Indianapolis, again when Chase Elliott returns to the number 88. Right now, Raja Caruth sits 14th in the championship standings, just 26 points below the playoff cut line. At this stage of the season, every single point matters. So even though switching cars every few weeks is far from ideal for any driver trying to build rhythm and chemistry with a team, this weekend could end up playing a massive role in keeping his playoff hopes alive. As for Raja Chastain, when he returns later this season in the number 9 JR Motorsports Chevrolet, he'll be climbing back into a car that has already treated him extremely well. He picked up a win at Charlotte Motor Speedway back in May, marking his first victory in this series since 2019. Earlier this season, he also drove the number 91 DGM Racing with Jesse Iwuji Motorsports Chevrolet at Martinsville Speedway and brought it home in 8th place. Now here's where the second half of this story connects directly into the first. One of the biggest names in all of NASCAR is also making his return this weekend. Chase Elliott will make his first NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series start of the 2026 season at Chicagoland Speedway. After Connor Zilisch moved on from JR Motorsports to a full-time Cup Series ride, with Trackhouse Racing following his standout rookie campaign, Raja Caruth stepped into the role of primary driver for the number 88 Chevrolet. But that arrangement only covered 23 of the season's 33 races, leaving 10 events open for Hendrick Motorsports Cup drivers to fill in. Kyle Larson and William Byron have already completed their scheduled appearances in that car. Larson even picked up 2 bonus starts by filling in for Alex Bowman at Darlington Raceway and Nashville Speedway. Now, it's finally Chase Elliott's turn. This will actually be Elliott's first O'Reilly Series race for JR Motorsports since 2021, and remarkably, his first oval race with the team since 2019. For fans, that's an incredible storyline, because Chicagoland itself is returning to the schedule for the first time since 2019. And now, one of the sport's biggest stars just so happens to be making his own comeback at that exact same track. Meanwhile, Raja Caruth remains a full-time championship contender despite all of these driver swaps happening around him. After this weekend, Elliott is only expected to fill in for him one more time at Indianapolis. From there, Caruth is scheduled to drive the number 88 Chevrolet throughout all 9 playoff races, assuming, of course, that he qualifies for the 12-driver postseason field. That last part matters more than people realize, because the number 88 team currently sits 3rd in the owner's standings, while the number 32 team sits all the way down at 17th. If Caruth can climb back above the playoff cut line, having that stronger JR Motorsports team behind him during the playoffs could turn into a massive advantage down the stretch. Now let's shift gears into our second story, because another JR Motorsports driver change was just confirmed after one absolutely incredible weekend. Shane van Gisbergen did exactly what everyone expected him to do at Sonoma Raceway. He dominated the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race, picking up his second win in just 3 starts this season, driving the number 9 JR Motorsports Chevrolet. Then, less than 24 hours later, he backed it up by winning the NASCAR Cup Series race at Sonoma too, giving him back-to-back victories in wine country and extending his personal winning streak at that track all the way back to 2025. Honestly, at this point, when SVG shows up to a road course, it almost feels like everyone else is just racing for second place. But as dominant as he's been, his O'Reilly Series schedule for 2026 is officially finished. That's not really a surprise, though. There are no more road courses left on this year's schedule, and road courses were always the only races he was scheduled to run. Even though Shane won't be back behind the wheel of the number 9 this weekend, the car itself is still going to be on track at Chicagoland. The driver stepping in is Carson Kvapil. And if you followed Kvapil at all this season, you already know that nobody, and I mean nobody, has spent more time playing musical chairs with race cars than he has. He's splitting time in the number 1 JR Motorsports Chevrolet with Connor Zilisch, after running that same car full-time just 1 year ago. Whenever Zilisch is behind the wheel of the number 1, JR Motorsports rolls out the number 9. And if another driver, like Shane van Gisbergen, is already occupying the number 9, Kvapil ends up in the number 91 Chevrolet with DGM Racing and Jesse Iwuji Motorsports instead. With Van Gisbergen stepping away after Sonoma, and Connor Zilisch heading back into the number 1 this weekend, Kvapil slides back into the number 9 Chevrolet for the 5th time this season, and for the first time since the Pocono Raceway race back in mid-June. The numbers behind his season honestly sound made up. At Sonoma, he drove the number 91 Chevrolet to a 6th place finish. This weekend marks the 15th time he's switched cars this season, and the 8th different team he's driven for. Even wilder, it will be his 9th consecutive race switching to a different car entirely. The last time he drove the exact same car in back-to-back races was all the way back in April, when he ran the number 1 Chevrolet at both Kansas Speedway and Talladega Superspeedway. And despite constantly adapting to new equipment, new crews, and new expectations almost every single weekend, Carson Kvapil has quietly put together one of the most consistent seasons in the entire series. He's still chasing that elusive first career victory after reaching the championship 4 as a rookie last season. But right now he sits 6th in the standings, an impressive 132 points above the playoff cut line. He's also riding a streak of 6 straight top 10 finishes into Chicagoland, with 11 top 10 finishes overall this year. To me, that might be one of the most underrated stories in the entire garage right now. Just imagine changing race cars nearly every single weekend. Different setups, different crews, different chemistry to build from scratch each time, and still delivering results like that, week after week. It's genuinely one of the most impressive performances of the entire season, and it deserves a lot more attention than it's getting. Looking at both of these stories together, one thing becomes really clear. JR Motorsports has an enormous number of moving parts right now, and somehow, they've managed to keep every single one of these programs competitive at the same time. Whether it's Raja Chastain, Raja Caruth, Chase Elliott, Shane van Gisbergen, Carson Kvapil, or Connor Zilisch, every single lineup decision over these next few weeks could end up having a real, lasting impact on the playoff picture. With Chicagoland finally back on the schedule after all these years, and the regular season quickly winding down, every race, every point, and every driver swap suddenly feels a whole lot more important. And honestly, that's exactly what makes this stretch of the season so much fun to follow, because one single weekend can completely change the direction of an entire championship. So let me know down in the comments, which one of these storylines are you watching most closely this weekend? Do you think Raja Caruth can climb back above the playoff cut line in time? Can Chase Elliott make an immediate impact behind the wheel of the number 88? And honestly, how impressed have you been with Carson Kvapil's consistency, despite switching cars almost every single week? And if this video kept you hooked, if you learned even one thing you didn't know before, please take 2 seconds and hit that subscribe button. We're a small, growing community of real fans who just want to talk about this sport we all love, and having you here means more than you know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.